From Pro Football Focus, realistic trade predictions for veterans who could be moved during the NFL draft. They say Greg Newsome. They say possible destinations: Eagles, Rams, Colts. Newsome has been the subject of trade rumors all offseason, with the Browns unlikely to give him a second contract. Martin Emerson's emergence, and of course Denzel Ward, has made Newsome expendable despite his excellent play over the last 2 seasons. Let's welcome in Casey Kinnamon from Dog Pound Daily, as well as the Barking Browns podcast. Casey, nationally everybody's talking about trading him. Locally, I don't think many people expect Greg Newsome to get traded.
Yeah, it would be, they'd have to get offered something to come off of. They're not going to trade Greg Newsome just to trade Greg Newsome. He's a good football player. You know, I view him as a top 50 cornerback. And other teams might value him more on the outside. But I think if we're looking at the draft, we're looking at the teams, and I would add Detroit to that list, who maybe have a corner targeted that they're unable to land. They find themselves on the outside looking in, and kind of in desperation, throw the Browns a phone call and see if they can work something out. But I don't see the Browns coming off Newsome for anything less than a second rounder. I can't envision a world where they take a early day 3, or even a round 3 seems like not the value they'd be looking for, you know. And we talked about it on All Eyes on Cleveland on Brad Ward's podcast last week. I think it's more likely that they try to, you know, they're going to give him his 5th-year option, and before he even plays on that, try to work something out and potentially move on from Denzel Ward at the end of his contract. Now, I don't think anyone here is going to argue that Newsome's a better corner than Denzel Ward at this stage, but I think we all have to acknowledge Denzel misses time. And we're also one bad head injury away from Denzel Ward's NFL career being in question. You know, so I don't think you move off Greg Newsome for nothing. And it's better to have a contingency plan in place. You do have Emerson to think about in the future, but I just think they're not going to move him for the sake of moving him.
No. And the other thing is at some point in time, Newsome's contract becomes, or not Newsome, Ward's contract becomes something you can renegotiate down. In a perfect world, Andrew Berry figures out a way to keep all 3 of those guys long term, because like he has come out and said, we have 3 guys that play press man coverage at an elite level. I'm not looking to get rid of that. And to make Jim Schwartz's defense work, you have to have cornerbacks that can play press man at an elite level.
Yeah, look around the league. You don't find a team with 3 of those, you know. And they're going to keep that conveyor belt running. They're going to keep drafting them. It's what they do. You know, they're really good at identifying what they like in cornerbacks. So that's going to keep happening, and it's going to keep the stable full. But I don't think, you know, like we've talked about it, you're not going to just move them for the sake of moving them. Doesn't make sense.
And I'm with you. I wouldn't do it for a 3rd-round pick. I don't think. 2nd round, you know, you're tempting me at that point. You're really tempting me at that point.